Okay, we have seen a class structure, then we have a main method, right? Below we have a main method, public static void main, right? So let's understand this static keyword and then structure of, so with the static keyword where you can apply. And so then syntaxes of each entity we'll understand, then we'll understand the void keyword. So in the main method, we should get a familiarity of each and every keyword. That's very, very important. So the one we have seen here yesterday is a simple program, right? Very simple program. So we understood the class structure and we need to understand now. So this main method. So main is a built-in method which is created for running your programs. If you want to execute your statements, so all these are statements, right? Every line is one statement. Every statement ends with a semicolon. So that's in Java, it's a mandatory. If you remove this semicolon, and you will get a compile time error. See, this is the compile time syntax error. Insert semicolon to complete a block statements. So that's why it's a very important. Every statement should end with a semicolon. That tells you the statement is ending. So any of the statements or whatever you write inside the main method, that only will start execution. So not the method you write outside. So, and yesterday we have written one more also. See, this is the main method. If you want to execute this method, you have to call under main method. So this is a non-static method. I'll tell you all these things. So I don't want to confuse a very early stage. So that's what the purpose of main method. Main method mainly used to execute your Java statements, your Java code. So the program execution begins from main method onwards only. The first cursor will be here only. In this line, and whatever you write in the first statement, that will execute. Again, cursor will go to main. Again, second line will call the main method, and that line will be executed by main method. So every line is executed by main method. That means every line is calling the main method to execute that statement. So that's the purpose of main method. So let's go and discuss about, we understood the public keyword. We need to understand what is static keyword. Then I'll tell the purpose of main method, why they created as a static. So let's understand first a static keyword. So everywhere you can program keywords only. You have to go to program keywords. This in the under labels. You can find these program keywords. Even I'm including in our videos also. So this thing I'm including in our so videos. You can get there if you want more details. Yeah. So these all things we completed, and we have seen class structure, class naming conventions, modifiers. We have seen all these things. Now we need to understand what is meant by a static keyword. So what is meant by a static keyword? Main method signature means public static void main parenthesis string square bracket args arguments, and then curly bracket start and end. In between that, you can write your executable statements and logics, and you can build inside the block body. That means method body. This region is called, curly braces region is called method body or block body. So we are method name after, if you write, that is a method body. Without any method, if you write, that's a block body. Okay. So now the first keyword in this main method is a static keyword. So static is a non-access modifier keyword. So in Java, So it is possible to declare a method, block, variable, as well as a nested classes as a static. So where you can apply this static keyword? For the methods. That means you can you can declare the methods as a static. You can declare block as a static. You can declare variable as a static. You can declare class inside one more class. Those are called nested classes or inner classes. Inner class you can declare as a static, not outer class. Outer class you cannot declare. Inner classes you can declare as a static. So that's the static keyword where you can apply. So which entities you can declare as a static. Then what will happen if you declare as a static? What will happen? So when you can create this static keyword, when you can use this static keyword. So if some property is common to all objects, if some property are shareable between multiple objects, if one property, then you have to make that property as a static so that it won't occupy more memory. That is the main purpose of static keyword. Static keyword saves the memory. Static keyword saves the memory. So how it will save? The memory allocates only once, and you can reuse the same memory for multiple objects if it is common to all objects. So now here main method is common for every line of code. See, every line. So main method has to be called to execute. If you don't make this main method as a static, for every line memory will be allocated. This line and this line. If there are 100 lines, 100 times memory allocates. That's inefficiency, right? You're consuming more memory. So to avoid that, if this is a common for all these lines execution, you need a main method. That's why what they made is they made it as a static so that it will occupy only one memory and you can reuse the same memory for every line. So that's when you will get that efficiency of the memory when you make the variable as a static, if it is a common. This is common for all these resources, all these lines of code. That's why you have to make that main method as a static. Otherwise, it will lead for extra memory allocation unnecessarily. To avoid that extra memory allocation, they made it main method as a static. So they will ask why main method made it as a static. The reason is to avoid extra memory allocation. They made it as how it will allocate memory, extra memory. They will ask, right? You explain before asking them. You explain for every line execution, main method will be called. If you don't make that as a static, it will allocate the memory for every line so that it will lead to extra memory allocation. To avoid that extra memory allocation, they made it as a static. If you make it as a static, it will allocate the memory one time and same will be reused for all lines of code. So basically it is sharing same memory for all lines of code. That's what I'm covering here. So static. So when you make a property as a static, if that is common, it saves the memory. It won't occupy more memory. So static variables have to be declared at a class level and cannot be declared at a method level. So you can make the static variables as static variables if you make. So if that is common, you can make it. Static class members are shareable across all instances of same class. So static variable is a class level variable. and static variable can be used to refer the common property of all objects. So that time only you will declare the variable as a static. If it is common to all objects of the same class, you can declare it as a static. So that's the main purpose of static. So at least remember 3 points. Static is a non-access modifier keyword. It can be applied on method, variable, block, and inner classes. You can declare them as a static. If you declare them as a static, so it won't occupy more memory. If it is a common, so when the common property, so you want to use for all the objects, that time we will declare it as a static. So that's a simple terminology you use. So we have, so why we will declare variables as a static is basically you see company name, so they will declare as a static because company name is common to all employees. That's one reason. And another is no, so even college name of students, they will make it as a static because college name is common to all students. If you don't make them static, what will happen? How many students are there? Each student you have to create object and unnecessary memory allocation. Same way for company also. Even you see, so there is a car class. Cars have engines, but no two cars share the same engine, right? This means that each car has an engine that belongs to its exclusive. Therefore, an engine in a car class would be a non-static attribute of the class. However, the brand name of the car is shared across all the instances of car class, right? So the brand name, for example, you take a Honda or so Toyota, this is the brand, right? The brand name. Across all the models, they can use the same brand. That is common. That common thing you make it as a static so that you can use for all other car classes. So that's another example you can use. So college, I already told students that also one example. And yeah, so these are all some of the best examples for this static, how it will be declared variables. So now we have a static method syntax without parameters. I told, right, you can make method as a static. So basically methods are two types: static methods, non-static methods. So static method means you have to use the static keyword in the method head portion. Method head portion means this one. The head portion is this is the, and see you can see the static keyword. That means this is a static method. That's a clear indication. If static keyword is not there, that's not a static method. So first, access modifier. What are the access modifiers? Yesterday I have given all access modifiers.
Public, private, protected, default.
Yeah, that's it. So you use any of the access modifiers. Then static keyword. Static keyword, just now I told you use the non-access modifier static keyword. And void, I'll explain the void also. But method name, you have to give method name followed by parenthesis. So without parameters means this parenthesis inside, there is no parameters. That is the without parameters. Then method body. See, with this, based on this syntax, see, I'm going to create a multiple methods. See how easy. So you create a class, public class, a static demo, and see access modifier place, I put a private. Then static, so void, and m1 method, and parenthesis, and curly braces inside. I'll write some, so print statements or something you can write here. So that's the one static method. Next static method. So what is the access modifier I used for this in this line?
Static.
Access modifier.
Access
Static is not access modifier, right?
Default, right?
So it's a default. You're right, absolutely. If no access modifier keyword is there, that's a default.
Default, yeah.
Static is a non-access modifier. That's not access modifier. So I'm telling this, follow this syntax word by word. Access modifier, see here, private. Then I followed static. Then void I have written. Then method name I have given M1. So if you remember this syntax, easy to create your own methods. I want to create a default method. So access modifier place, you should not place any modifier. Then, so this spot is blank. So that's why this spot is blank here. Then immediately static keyword I started. Then void, my method name is M2. See, here no parameters. Here also no parameters. I'm just following this generic syntax. I want to create a static method without parameters. How can you create? That's what I'm doing that. So then access modifier next with the protected keyword I'm creating. Then static keyword, void, method name. So parenthesis, curly bracket, method body. Then see fourth one, access modifier, public, static, void M4, curly bracket, method body. So this is the static method syntax. So with these things. So this is the one exercise for you. So create a class. So static demo class. Under that, you create a 4 methods with this syntax. So just write one simple print statement here. So private static method without parameters. Like that for every method. See, every method is independent. See, method started here, ending here. Again, you have to start a next method. So you should not write this method inside this method of body. Follow that. See, one method you want to create, it should end curly bracket. Then only you can start a next method. See, I start this end curly bracket after I only started next method. And this end curly bracket after only I am starting in the next method. Every method is independent. You can create a n number of methods in one class. So these are all I created as static methods. So create this one task. Please make a note. So you have to create a class and then inside that class, create the static methods without parameters and write here. So simple print statement inside that method body. That's a task for you guys. Next, a static method syntax with parameters. Above one is without parameters. Now with parameters. See that the syntax. First syntax, by heart the syntax. If you don't want by heart, read every day. Every day if you read or take these syntaxes, stick on your walls or your flashcards. Make a flashcards if you want and keep it them there. So that's how you need to do a lot of hard work on these syntaxes. See, access modifier. I have given all access modifier. Yesterday we discussed. Then static keyword, void, method name, parenthesis, data type, P1, comma, data type, P2, comma, data type, P3, and so on. So you can write n number of parameters. The P1, P2, P3 are the parameters. So parenthesis ends, curly bracket start, method body, and curly bracket ends. So this is the how you can take it up. So now here without parameters, that means no parameters. Here the parameters. What is the parameter syntax? Data type, parameter name. You can write a one parameter. Your method can be without parameters. Your method can be with a single parameter or more than one parameter. How many you want, that many parameter you can declare within parentheses. If you don't know these round brackets, what you call them, please make a note. So these round brackets are called parentheses. So the flower brackets are called, these are flower brackets are curly braces. Curly braces we call them. We call them curly braces or flower braces, we call them. And this is the parenthesis. And there is a square brackets that represent the array. Square brackets means it represents the array. So that's the static method with the parameters. So example, access modifier, public, static, void, method name is M5. See, data types are int A is a one parameter, but A data type is integer. So B data type is a float. C data type is a character. See, first you are starting with the data type, then parameter name. If you want to give one more parameter, put a comma, then first write the data type, then one space, parameter name, comma, data type, parameter name. So A, B, C are the three parameters. A data type is integer, B data type is a float, C data type is a char. Then method body. Method body can. So same exercise you can do for this also. You can declare a method, not necessarily all three. One parameter you declare. First practice this with the syntaxes. So write the syntax while practicing, write the syntax first. And then follow word by word so that it will come nicely. So this is all you have to do more practice. Whenever you are creating a method, remember first this syntax. Then write the actual replacement. Access modifier, you want which one you want to use. Private, public, default, protected, which one? You decide. So where you want to use this method, you are the programmer. You need to decide that. So put that, then immediately write the static keyword, then void, then method name, parenthesis, then data type, parameter one. Even you try with one parameter, try with the two parameters, try with the three parameters, try it out. So there is nothing, right? Nothing wrong. So and then follow this method body as it is. If you follow the syntaxes, you won't get any errors. You check word by word. Am I placing exactly as per this syntax or not? That is what the next. So class create a same class, or you can create in the same class, not necessary other class. So we are creating a static demo, right? In this class itself, you create another 4 methods with 4 access modifiers with the parameters. Okay, that's a second exercise for you. So you can do that exercise also. Third one, static variable syntax. I told right, static keyword can be applied on variables also. So static variable syntax. Static variable syntax is access modifier, static, data type, variable name equal to variable value, semicolon. So this is the assignment operator. So assignment means you are assigning this value to this variable. That means you are storing, you are copying right side value into left side variable. Who is doing that task? Assignment operator is doing. What is the purpose of assignment operator? These are all very, very important. Nobody tells what is meant by assignment operator, what it will do. The assignment operator will do when you put a single equal to, that meaning is an assignment operator. See here, assignment operator, we call that. The operator name is assignment operator. What is the purpose of that? It will copy the right side value to left side variable. This variable inside, it will copy. That is the purpose of this assignment operator. Okay, so that's the main purpose of this assignment. Whenever you are placing assignment operator means the value on the right hand side, this variable, this assignment operator right side, this value will be copied into this variable. That's a static variable syntax. See, with this syntax, say I created 4 variables again. Everything so easy if you remember the syntaxes. See access modifier. What is the access modifier I used here? In this first syntax.
Default.
Default. Excellent. Default. And then static keyword. Then data type I used. String is a one data type. And variable name is yes, equal to within double quotes selenium. That means, so double quotes means I told you yesterday. What is what type of data type is? String type value. If the value is in double quotations, it says string type value, string literal value. So now see, if you compare this with this syntax, so this value, if you compare with this syntax, you can easily answer. So in this line, can you tell me what is the access modifier here?
Default.
So what is the data type?
String.
What is the variable name?
Yes.
What is the value?
Selenium.
That's it. See how easy to tell with if you remember this syntax. Can you tell me on this, what is the access modifier in this line? What is the data type? What is the variable name and value?
Public is access modifier.
String, correct.
String is a data type.
Right.
College
Yeah,
name is a variable.
exactly. So yeah, right. Super. See that. This is the one. This is the data type. And this is the variable name. And this is the value. See, so easy, right? That's why I'm telling, all these are very important. See, in the third. So what is the access modifier?
Private.
Private. Let me change the colors. Change the colors. Okay. So now, see, data type is here.
Integer.
Integer. See, variable name here is I and value is 10.
10.
So next, let's see. So now here you see that access modifier is protected and data type is
Float.
and variable name is
X.
and value is 25.5 F. So that's the so easy if you remember this, and this is the base to generate your number of variables. So our life is going to be very easy if you remember this syntax, variable syntax, static variable syntax. So static variable syntax is first it starts with a access modifier, static, data type, variable name equal to variable value semicolon. Even see that I'm giving semicolon also. If you follow this, you won't miss semicolon also. Unnecessarily, no. So you won't get any compile time issues. Missing the semicolon, all this you can avoid if you follow the syntaxes. So I strongly suggest, so syntaxes I'm not telling one day it has to come. Every day you read, why it won't come. And whenever you are practicing, write the syntax first. Then derive from that syntax your variables or your methods. Then why you will forget? There won't be any no mistakes will happen. So with this kind of approach, that's I strongly believe that. But others I don't know. But that's the approach I follow. So that is the static variable syntax. See this? Double equal to is a comparison operator. It compares two numbers. How can you compare two numbers in software? Using in Java two equal operators. That's a equal operator. So this is a single equal to is a assignment operator. So the value you are assigning to a variable. That meaning the value is copying into variable. That means now S contains selenium. College name contains JNU. I contains 10. X contains 25.5. So what is the X value is 25.5 because it copied into X. Who did that? This assignment operator did that. This assignment operator did that. So see that I'm comparing I and X. See, I'm using a double equal to. So I is a number, X is a floating number. X is also a number, but floating number. Are they same? No. So that's why you will get a Boolean value. So this comparison operator always generates a Boolean value, either true or false. So that's the meaning of single equal to and double equal to. Any questions on this? So basic concept. Are we good?
Yep.
Yeah. See, this output I am assigning to
B2.
B2 local variable, B2 static variable, sorry, B2 static variable. So what is a B2 data type? Boolean. What is the access modifier of B2? Public. So this is the all very easy to so tell any part you can tell if you remember this syntax. So here is another one. See another static final variable. I'll tell you final variables means all this. So later. So what is final? I'll tell you all those things. So there is a static blocks. I told you a static keyword can be applied on the methods, on the variables, on blocks also. You can create a static blocks also. So what is the main purpose of static block? Static blocks are used in Java to initialize your static variables. For example, you didn't assign a value for this static variable, but that value you can initialize with these static blocks. So they're executed only once when the class is loaded. Static blocks will execute only once when the class is loaded into the JVM. So hence, so perfect for the Java is to initialize the variables, values, you can use a static block. You can include more than one static block in the class. I can write more than one static block. See, I can write more than one static block. So static block, you can simply say that static curly bracket block. So I can declare a, see I'm writing access modifiers, static data type, variable name equal to value. But even without variable also, value also you can declare like this. This is also another way. Without value, you can declare just declaration. This one is declaring and assigning a value. This is only declaration. So that's the static variables. You can declare above the methods, above the blocks, below the class. That's a static variables purpose. Now I'll declare one static variable. Private static int